Hi everybody, Prepper Del here, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different with you. I wanted to make a survival knife. Now what I mean about a survival knife is, I'm not going to go and buy a 200-300 pound knife that is a survival knife. This is a simple knife with a few things that I think would help you in a survival situation. We're going to start off with a really cheap budget knife. This is a Hotafler. They come in at around about £5, Swedish carbon steel. You've probably all seen these, really good budget knife, does what it says on the tin. I like it. So that's us starting off with this, nothing fancy. I'll just show you this first thought. Picked this up today. It's Angler Arms knife and it's got a wolf on it. As you know, my channel logo is a wolf, so I think this is perfect. And it's got the footprints on it. I love that. That wasn't expensive at all. That was about £15, but that is just lovely to me. Knives, wolves and fire. What more could a man want, eh? So let's get back to this then. So, my take on the survival knife. We're going to take this as a survival knife, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a button compass and put it onto the sheath. Just remember, with these really cheap button compasses, you know, you can pick them up for 80 pence, 50 pence, you know, 40 cents equivalent, things like that. Just check they haven't got bubbles. Bubbles don't work. So it had a raised Hotafler sign there, so we just took a knife to it to flatten it all off, flatten the surface off, just to try and mate it, just to try and give it a better mating surface. And just let's get some super glue. Good dollop of super glue on there. Let's get the button compass, put it on. So all we're doing is just applying the bit of pressure onto the button compass. Get that super glue to go off. A little bit of pressure onto it. So it's shaped. The sheath is shaped so you're not always going to get the best adhesion to it. But let's give it a go anyway. See how we get on. So, my take on the survival knife. So we've got the compass, let that glue nicely, and then we're going to take a ferro rod, add a ferro rod to this. So I'm attaching everything to the sheath so that we're not looking in different pockets and things like that in cold weather, wet weather. You don't want to be foraging through pockets with cold hands just to try and find everything to light something or to drop it, or try and keep it all together. Just a standard fire steel with the lanyard and the striker. These come with the snap buttons. All you do is unclip it and just take the string off, take the striker off. I'm not going to use the string of the striker. I'm going to use a bit of paracord and put it through one. So we've got one here. I've got just a cheap steel, again, couple of pound, couple of dollars, on a length of paracord. Now, I've measured this length of paracord. You measure it from your hip to your knee and back to your hip. That gives you your working length, so that if it's tied onto the sheath or tied onto your belt, you can still use it as a proper working length. That's how you get the length to your own individual spec. Okay guys, so we typify there. So these sheaths come with a little lanyard hole on the side there. Not really too sure why, but it does. Maybe just as a secondary caution for it. And then all we're going to do is just get that paracord through it. It's a little bit tricky because with them being just cheap budget knives, they're not always moulded the best, so you will get curls of plastic inside there. So we've got that through. I'm just watching that compass, make sure it doesn't come off. I might have to re-glue that. So we've got the lanyard through. I'm just going to tie a knot on the end of that just now. Keep it together, I'll melt it together later. So there we go. So, compass is on. Lanyard is secure with the fire steel. Next step. Lots of different things we can add to this. You see the curvature of the sheath doesn't make it the easiest to wrap in paracord. So I come up with an idea for this. Foil blanket. Foil blankets are great in survival situations. Again, you can pick them up for $1, 50 cents, They're not expensive at all. £1, you know. Go to the pound shop, you can probably get 2 for £1 in the pound shop. So all we're going to do here is we're just going to wrap it around the sheath. Start off at the fold so that you're not getting any air into it. So we're just going to simply wrap it around. I'll show you in a minute, guys. In 2 seconds. It's a bit difficult just trying to do this for the first time on the camera. Being left-handed doesn't help, I'm sure. So try and just keep it as tight as you can when you're wrapping it around, so it's not going to be too bulky. The idea is just to try and get it as level around the sheath as possible without being too bulky. We're going to wrap this in a minute with some paracord. Now I've not gone in for any tactical colours. It's for survival, so I don't see why you'd need to have it tactical. So there we go. We've got this round it for now. So now we're just going to start. What I'll do first though is we'll just make a little secure hole for the ferro rod, so it sits in there. Get that out of the way in a minute. So a little secure bit for the ferro rod, and then we're going to get some paracord and just start doing a small cobra weave on that. A bit of weight on that. Again, Venom Green. So I'm just finding my centre on the paracord. Found my centre. So this is going to be the tricky bit now. We need to start off the weave. Slide it up there a little bit, push that in. So all I'm doing just now is just securing the paracord on so that I can start my weave. Bum, 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 bum. I'll explain it once I start doing it. There is lots of different things I could add to this, but I'm thinking trying to keep it simple. Survival blanket, compass, ferro rod. Can't really go much more than that really. You can keep adding to it, but then imagine the bulkiness that you're going to get on your actual sheath once we start packing it out. So I've just done a simple tie on the back of that. Now we're just going to start a weave. I'm going to bring the right over to the left, and then the left will go over the top of the right. It'll go round the back, then through, back up to the front. So this is just the start of it, without it snagging anywhere obviously. So let's just get a start. Pull it tight. So now we've got a start, and then I'm going to bring left over the right, loop the right over, and then bring it through on this side. So as you can see, it gives you your cobra weave pattern. Don't worry so much about it just now, how it looks. Right over left, left over, under and through. So you're just going to repeat that process all the way down. Pull it as tight as you want now. Remember guys, this is a survival knife. Doesn't need to be pretty. This is going to get you out of situations. Survival blanket and a ferro rod. So just a simple, I'm not the world's best at paracording, but I know the basic, and to me this is the basic that's going to help me out. I've got plenty of cordage that we can use for fire. I've got the foil blanket and I've got the ferro rod. And always remember, in survival situations you can use some of the down out of your jacket, a little bit down out of your jacket and things like that. All helps with fires. So there you go. Just keep cracking with your weave till it gets down. No time at all, you've got it going. You can add different things to this if you want to. I was looking and thinking, do you add survival whistles, do you add different things? It's entirely up to you. I've got wicks there, instant fire wicks. I can add them onto my weave now. Look, all I've got to do is that. Tie it on, pull it through. You've got a start. It's in a waterproof packet. Everything doesn't have to be tactically covered. So as you can see, you've got them there if you need to. Wrap myself up there. I'm going to take those out actually, guys, and I'm going to put them under. And then just keep wrapping it. You can take this apart and do whatever you want to it, add whatever you want to it. I think what else I'm going to add to it just while it's here, I'm going to add a tick remover. We all know about Lyme disease and the dangers of it, so let's shove it a little tick remover tool, just tuck it in there. Handy to have if you don't have anything else on you to take it out. If this is all you're carrying, then try and make it to you and to your needs. This isn't everybody's cup of tea, I know that, but I just wanted to try something a wee bit different, and this is what I come up with. So we've got a compass, fire steel, foil blanket, some Army issue NATO wicks, which means they burn in any temperature and take a heat, take a spark really quick. So you get the general idea, guys, of what we're doing. Do your weave. If you've not done the weaves before, it's good practice for you. So we're down there, across, over, under. We're coming to the end. It gets trickier as you come to the end. And all you've got to do is just find a way of blanking the paracord off at the end. Just do that a wee minute. So all I'm doing there is just tying the end of it off the best I can. Like I say, I'm not the world's best, I'm not a paracorder, but I do know how to do a simple weave, cobra weave, and now it's just a case of just wrapping it the end so I can get the end tied off. I'm sure there's loads of paracorders going, oh my god, what's he doing there? He's making such an ass of that. But hey, it's mine. It's going to do me in a survival situation, and that's all I'm interested in. Looking pretty can come second place. Looking pretty doesn't save your life. basically, guys. Is my opinion. So here we go. I'll just be back in a minute. So all I'm doing is just tying this off now. So we've got plenty of cordage in case we need to make that Mylar blanket, the survival blanket. We can make it into a shelter with plenty of cordage for that. Bum, 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 bum. I'll tie all that off later. So there we go. We've got the knife, we've got the compass, we've got the fire steel. And then what else I'm going to add to this is I'm going to add, just turn that around. I'm going to add a clip to this so we can secure it to your belt. Clips come in really handy for other things too. So there you go. The sheath is designed to clip onto a button or clip over a belt or clip onto MOLLE. So put that onto your belt. We've got a secondary security measure there that we can add on. We can double that over if we want. So you just do a simple loop on it. And we can just tie it on like that. And there you go. You've got your fire steel. Your fire steel which is secure. Can go in and out of there now. You've made a simple pocket for it. We've got the compass, we've got fire wicks, and we've got a tick remover. So there you go, guys. All in all, 4, 5, 6, 7, roughly £10 made that survival knife. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but that's, to me, that is the essentials for what I would need. Survival blanket, knife, compass, fire steel, and cordage. We can do lots with that. We've got extra, we've got fire wicks, and we've got a tick tool. You can put whatever else you want in. We've got whistles and things like that. We could add, you can add a whistle to it. Just clip it on the carabiner. So you've got the survival whistle as well. So whistle, carabiner, fire steel, compass, cheap knife, all for £10, equivalent $10. I hope that was something different for you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope I've not bored enough of you. And for all you that paracord, looks a mess, but hey, does me, and I like that. I'll add that to my kit. Perfect for me. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'd like to see a few of you maybe do your own on these, like I said, for a tenner. Can't go wrong with that, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Keep prepping. Prepper Del out.